guys, and welcome to another episode of CarpFishing.Tips. This week we went to FunFishing here in Reitvlei in the south of Johannesburg, and our fishing spot was right next to that big structure you see as you drive up to the entrance. Our fishing forecast was at 0% when we arrived, but over the next 2 hours it would go all the way up to 80%. So we were looking forward to actually being there for the spike of the fishing activity. The temperature was 29 degrees Celsius. There was a wind forecast of 6 kilometers per hour. So nothing too hectic, a pretty mild day, pretty great day for fishing really. Not too, quite a bit of sun, but also a little bit of cloud cover. It was a really calm day at the dam. So from our fishing spot, which is right next to the building on the right side, if you're looking at the building, we cast out right in front of our fishing spot to about the fourth concrete structure in the dam, and our second rod we cast right in front of our position between the two concrete structures, the one that's on the bank and the first one in the water. As you can see, our gear seems quite different from what it used to be. And that's because this is our gear that we bought in the Netherlands. Our millibomb was the normal millibomb, but we decided to use the method feeders we were using in the Netherlands with a method feeder mold. And on our first millibomb, if you want to call it that, was pineapple millies and banana millies with no bowl dip. And our second rod had a detonator dip top secret, and then the same pineapple and banana millies. And obviously with it being a method feeder, it's got a hook at the top and a hook at the bottom. Because it looked like the fish were surfacing quite a lot on the one method feeder, we put a more buoyant bait on the top hook and let it rise up quite a bit to see if it would attract anything down from the surface. And these are more precise locations of where we were fishing, pretty much as I explained, a little bit further out in front and one right in front of us. But as the day progressed and we saw rises all over the dam, but specifically on the swim next to ours, in inverted commas, we decided to change our fishing position, and I moved only one rod initially. On the first rebait that I did, I moved the one rod over and I cast it fairly out to the middle of the dam to see if I could get any bites there, as I got a few nibbles on this side of my swim right in front of me, but nothing was actually taking the bait. So then I decided to go over the concrete barriers to the other side, and we would wait and see if this would work. Also, the other thing we were testing was to see if the method feeder number one would get us bites quicker, or get us bites that were more aggressive, because of the fact that the bait's sitting right on top. That's one of the things that I like about the method feeder mold that I'm using in this video. The reason why I like the mold is purely because you can put the bait in first, then put the papquay on top, and then put the method feeder on top of that. So what happens is that when you pull it out, your bait's sitting right on top of the method feeder. And normally what you do with a method feeder is you just hook the hook into the top of the method feeder, and it's the same thing, obviously. But this just is a nice way of making sure that you put in a certain amount of bait for every single cast, and you can control how much bait you're actually using. As you know, I like to be a little bit more I wouldn't say scientific, but a little bit more controlled, just to see what works and what doesn't work. Does a lot of feeding work? Does a little bit of feeding work? Should we be putting more bait, less bait? But as you'll see in the course of this video, how much bait we actually put in. To be honest, with that bait mold, it's probably not even a fistful of millibomb, so if you had to take a millibomb and put it in your hand to where you can cup it, it's probably not even that much that we're putting on the method feeder. The method feeders are like 40 grams, so they are quite heavy, but I think that just helps making sure that if fish takes it the chances are that it will definitely get hooked. And after much waiting, after about an hour of us being at the dam, we finally get our first bite. And surprisingly enough, it's on the bowl dip that had the top secret bowl dip on it, with the same millies that we were using on the plain one. So it is interesting to see that the bowl dip was the one that first took off. I would have thought that the plain might have been more attractive to the fish, just purely because it was more natural, in inverted commas. But yeah, it actually took off. And in true CarpFishing.Tips style, you know, our first video after being back from the Netherlands, we had to make sure that we caught one of the biggest fish in the dam, because otherwise what would be the point of posting another video? And here's this little beauty. It's not a bad size, but he was quite small. You'll see in the next clip. So yeah, as you can see, he's about the size of my hand, probably about 1 kilo in weight. Not a big fish at all. And then not soon after, we managed to get another bite on the same rod, in the same position. We cast it out to almost exactly the same position, as close as we could get it, and we caught another fish, surprisingly enough. Again, this was also on the method feeder with the pineapple and banana millies, as well as the Detonator's Dip top secret bowl dip. And see, another one for the record books. Probably could be a national world record. Not really. Most things it could be is a CarpFishing.Tips record, but a really nice fish. Also probably about 1 kilo, maybe 1.5 kilos, a little bit bigger than the first bite, which was great. And then we lost another 2 bites later on in the day, but the tempo definitely started to increase after that last catch, which was interesting to see. We started to get bites. Basically, as soon as we cast back in, we'd get another bite. Unfortunately, I got late and it was already about 6, so we had to pack up and leave. That was our outing for the day. Hope you got some tips. Hope you've got something to try at your dam or when you go to fun fishing again. And as always, guys, tight lines,